Fear of abandonment. In trauma bond relationship, you're always afraid or scared of being abandoned, of left, of someone just walking away, or someone just knocking off. Today, 1 week, the person has called you. The next week, the person has lost communication. The next week, the person starts again calling you. The next week, the person stops communicating. Then, secure. Love is secured. Definitely. Then, attachment. Before you know it, both love and trauma bond have attachment. Because when you love somebody, you find yourself getting attached to them. But not in the way that you can't live your life or your life is just surrounded by them. No, you love them, but you're attached. Just like how a mother will love her child and she's attached to her child. But that does not mean she won't let her child prosper or she won't let her child to go on with life. No, that's not love. That's trauma bond. Control. When you're in love, you do not just control. You do not want to give your partner time to explore. You do not want to give your partner time to fly. Try to be someone. For them to identify their own reality. Time for them to know what they really want. That is what trauma bond does. It cages you. You cannot fly. It does not give you a wind to fly. Jealousy. Yes, I say love is jealous. But when the jealousy turns to jealousy turns to obsession, it becomes a problem. So love is not obsessed. Even if love is jealous, love is not obsessed. So, what are the common men we see? The common men we see in trauma bonds. It's like, if it hurts this much, it is possible with love. People believe that unless you feel so much pain in relationship, unless you feel so much hurt when you're in love with somebody, that's when you begin to show that, okay, this person, I'm in love with this person. No pain intensity is a proof of depth or a proof of love. Nah. They just need healing. I can fix them. So some people feel that whatever their partner does to them, or when people begin to treat them in a certain way, you feel that those people heal them and you feel that you are the one that can heal them. No. Let them be accountable for their actions. You cannot be accountable for someone's action. You cannot love someone into accountability. You can't do that. You have to allow them be accountable for their own actions. Nobody will love me like this. People have that narration. When they are trauma bond, they begin to see, oh, nobody, especially when those who are faced with childhood experiences, they feel nobody will love me like this because they are familiar or they are used to this certain way of love. So they feel this is the kind of love they know. This is what they know. So they feel that nobody will love them like the way this person has loved them, not even knowing that that is a wrong way of love. How to heal from trauma bonds. How to heal from trauma bonds. Accept the reality, not fantasies. Go on. Connect or low. Connect if possible. Now, work on reality, not fantasy. So many of us love to live in fantasy. We fantasize the world. We think things that are not even possible. We try to look for it in the impossibilities, and therefore it causes a lot of problem for us. So let us accept reality. Okay? Then we should work on attachment wound in therapy. When we have gotten certain kind of attachment or certain way of life that we know that it's not the way it's supposed to be, we should go for therapy. We should heal so that we don't go about inflicting pains on others as well. So we should try to heal. We should rebuild, identify outside relationship. We should try to rebuild what has broken in us. Rebuild what has worn off, what has shaken off from our lives. Let's rebuild. Let's give chance for relationship outside what we are familiar with. Let's give something new a chance. Let's regulate our nervous system. When we say regulate our nervous system, I mean let's take a deep breath. Let's breathe. Let's breathe. Let's breathe. Let's breathe. Let's see life differently. Let's breathe. Replace intensity with stability. Let's replace our intensity with stabilities. Then that's Not let's go for something stable instead of something very intense. Okay? So another one we can do is healing and bringing it first. Let's heal. Let's heal. Let's bring peace. Let's choose peace instead of chaos. Let's always want peace instead of chaos, because peace is sustainable. A deep questions for my listeners. I want to ask you, for you to ask yourself questions, for you to ask yourself a deep question from your heart. Ask yourself questions. If the chaos stop, if the intensity disappears, if the fears was to go away, would I still want this person? That's to say, if the chaos stop, like if the chaos you have with your partner stops, if the intensity disappears, if the fear was gone, would you still want the person? Would you choose the person over and over again? Trust me, if your answer is no, trust me, that is not love. That is not love. That is not love. Love is not supposed to feel like survival. You should not have to bleed to prove communication. You deserve a relationship where your nervous system can rest, where your identity can expand, where your voice is safe. Trauma bonding system. I need you so I don't collapse. Love says, I choose you and I still hold. If this episode suits you or has said something to you, has touched you in some way or the other, please, it's good for you to share with somebody that might need the clarity. And remember, not every deep affection is destiny, or every deep attachment is destiny. Some wounds are asking to be worked on or to be healed. Until the next episode, protect your peace.